If at some time you come to the point where you need some parts for Scott and your local bike shop is not able to help you, you are not able to find it in anywhere around, nor R2 Bike has the parts, you might come to the point where you find the website, which is Westbrook Cycles. In this video we'll figure out what's in this box, as well as how genuine Westbrook Cycles are. When it comes to Scott, it's not always easy to find parts. For Spark, for example, 2022 Onboards, majority of them are out of stock. Like Twin Lock, I'm not even going to talk about the shock, which is very hard to find. So when we land at Westbrook Cycles, they have pretty much everything. When the time came where I decided to change the swing arm, about which I will cover later, that was the only place where I was able to narrow down the white RC model spare parts. How transparent they are, we'll see in a minute. One thing to point out is that since Vesbrook Cycles are based on UK, that means when you are going to purchase things, additional import and taxes are going to be applied. So they will also open your box to check whether you are actually declaring what's inside. And in this instance, it was FedEx bike parts. Well, that's true. So what I have ordered from Westbrook Cycles are a few things. The main important one is the swing arm. The box itself is very much like Chinese built. Not much answers whether it's genuine or not, but let's begin from the other things. Because I'm changing the swing arm, I also decided to change those pivots, not because they are worn, but just visually it will be more pleasing, and at the same time I will have some spares if something happens. From initial overview, those spare parts looks fine. They have original product codes, which this one is for all the rubbers on the swing arm, so it includes this cover as well as the rubber inside the swing arm, plus all those pieces where the cables goes. It's good to replace them because they sometimes are not too easy to remove out, especially that one for the brake hose. I already damaged it at some point in the past. This one is also with the product code, but the issue with this one, I very much doubt whether it's right part, because at least from impression from the past, this one should have been a bit bigger. We will see once I break everything apart in our video, but here it's pretty small. Previous impression how big or small it is was incorrect, but linkage bar inner spark 2022. In case if you need product codes, you can find it here. The reason why I ordered this as well is pretty much self-explanatory, because I'm changing the main pivots. In the past they've been a bit rusted, so why not to give it a full change here. The last one, pivots from RC Pro, also has product code. Other thing, I lost that bolt, so it's 3mm, I guess. I used some other one, which is not ideal, and also that preload nut is a bit worn as well, so we will replace that too. Something like that. And the color, it's pretty similar, but keep in mind that this is already a bit worn. Fresh white on the bike. So we have that. Instead of buying a new bike, I decided that why not to refresh the look of at least one piece of it. And the last remaining piece is the swing arm itself. Kind of has product codes, but it's also Chinese-like. You tell me how genuine it is, but considering that the parts one way or another are being manufactured in China, maybe it should be this way. So it's worth mentioning that this swing arm is not from 2022 model, but it's from 2023 RC team, which, considering that those models were pretty much the same, should be fine. Whatever they will be, we'll figure out very soon. Whoops. So I guess this was just pre-installed in order to keep the spacing. Alright, so let's say that we don't need this, and let's see how the top looks like. I suspect the swing arm at the bottom near the chainstay will be without the bearings. Maybe they will, I don't know, but my initial guess is that they are not. Yes, they are without the bearings. At least this one is applied. I had assumption that maybe I should have ordered this carbon protection separately, but apparently it's not the case and it's on the bike on its own. The main question is it exactly the same? I have no idea. In theory, it should have been. Fingers crossed that it will work. The main reason why I'm changing it is because these bearing hose worn out, at least the one on the drive side, significantly, to the point where I basically can insert the bearing with my finger. As a temporary solution, I added some green thread lock, which was this one. It actually has quite thick layer. At some degree helps to keep that bearing in place and not to move. But the additional issue, which still remains intact, is that inside there is preload tube, which sits between the bearings, and because this is not pressed properly, it causes issues furthermore, because that preload knocks inside, and you can see while stopping that the swing arm moves a bit, then you apply the pressures. So in the future video I will show you how to change that from A to Z. And talk about the bearings, we'll need some here, and I will cover that topic in this video.